highfalutin, lazy, or foo-foo America gets, we will never stop hunting and fishing. This is the Hunting Quest. The Hunting Quest. We take 1 hour of every week and talk about our favorite things in the world, hunting and fishing. You'll get tips and help on the fishing environment locally in the DMV area. Plus, we're going to have fun along the way. This is the Hunting Quest. And now your hosts, Mike Tippin and Mark Davis.
Muted. There we go. You're awful today, man. I couldn't hear a word you're saying.
Are we live? We're at episode 22 today. We're our guest, Mike Tippin. He is drove a Volkswagen here today.
I did not.
He likes craft beers. Did somebody send me the link? And as you can tell by his hat and his shirt, that's what we're about.
Nobody likes you.
Nobody's listening yet.
Nobody likes you.
Nobody likes you.
All right, but you got that part right.
Did you get that hat from England?
No. I got this hat from I don't know where, but I like it.
Who makes it? Should we shout out the company that made the hat today? Sponsored by RidiculousHats.com.
No, it's Boston Scully.
I shaved today. I know I shaved a couple days ago.
Yeah, I can see.
It's getting a little much. My top hair, the non-beard hair, was too long. We can't just do the top without fixing the bottom.
Well, I'm telling you right now, man. You get into this, once you'll figure it out, like when it gets cold and you get old and you need to keep your head warm.
I tell you what, the crazy part is it's a lot of, it's like we said the other day, it's a lot of work to groom the beard.
Oh, it's painful. I mean, there is a ton of work, and I got to fix my mic for a second. Sorry, there we go.
Yeah, it's not that easy to do.
No, and then you got to deal with all the other crap associated with how to the itchy and the the how to when you wake up and you got people hear bedhead. There's a real thing called beard face.
Somebody asked me today if I was dyeing my beard red because they thought that my hair wasn't red. And my hair is not really red; it's somewhat red. You know what I mean in real life. But this is bright red beard. So they were like, "Oh, you're dyeing your beard. And then you dyed it; the gray still comes out." I was like, "Well, that's a sign that I didn't dye it. Because if I dyed it, you probably wouldn't be able to see the gray." But whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I have plenty of gray. I'm not going to dye it. It's not my thing. Oh, we forgot our timer today.
Oh yeah, I don't have much. I have a little bit. A little bit of gray.
Well, I got plenty of it for you.
So. Just right here.
I got it like here, just in this area right here. So, anyways, how was your week?
Okay, lived through the giant ice storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I tell you what, that really wasn't that bad. I tell you what that we did.
Well, you're further west. I keep forgetting that.
So we actually did get ice.
Yeah, we got ice, but it was first in the morning.
The trees were covered and everything like that. And as the day went on, the ice progressed.
Yep. Really?
So even this morning when I left, I had to start the car and get the ice off the car.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a little different up there. Like you said, not a ton different, but yeah, it was definitely a little more than normal.
Yeah, ours was
a little more than like the frost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like we definitely had some ice. We didn't get any snow at all. I never saw snow once. Of course, it was during the night, so I wasn't up all night, but I never saw a bit of snow.
My wife stayed up just to see snow. Just to see. She loves snow.
Did it actually snow?
Yeah, a little bit. It was like a dusting, not even a dusting, but she stayed up just so. And I didn't say anything to her. I walked outside and I was letting the dogs out and came back in and it was, it was snowing when I went outside. And so I was like, "Hey, you want to take the dogs out?" She goes, "Why? It's snowing." She was so excited. So she loves it. That's her thing. She hates it being like stupid cold unless it's just like full on snow. And, that's her thing. So,
well, it's kind of like you're all excited when the winter starts, like how it's going to be, all that kind of stuff. And then the, around Christmas time comes, you're like, "Oh, it's snowing. What's it doing?
Right,
all right,
yeah.
I'm done. I don't need any more winter." You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see, but
around here, you're going to find it pretty much as, January, February time frames when we're getting the majority of our snow. So
it's definitely weird. You never know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
It could be, nothing all winter.
Well, hell, the weatherman can't get it right. So.
Supposedly, I saw something about
It's not supposed to be a lot of snow this year.
Thursday or something, some precipitation.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's far outside.
Yeah, Thursday or Friday. I think it's Friday. Friday's supposed to Thursday night into Friday morning or
So
something.
one of them's
I don't know.
Christmas Eve so Christmas is Saturday, right? Yeah.
Friday, Christmas, the 23rd is on Friday. So Christmas Eve would be Saturday. Christmas was
Yeah.
on Sunday.
No, I think Christmas is on Saturday. If only we had a phone to tell.
Man, this is what we got to do here. I think I'm right.
I think you're wrong.
So the 24th is on Saturday. The 25th is on Sunday.
Is it?
Because the
Yeah.
23rd is our cookie baking day.
Oh yeah, sure.
I know this. We've been planning this for like 2 weeks now. So
It's a shame. I really thought I was correct.
you were wrong.
I thought I was right. So,
You-
but maybe it was,
How'd those words taste?
maybe
You were
I
wrong.
was wrong. Maybe Friday is the day that I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow. It's supposed to snow on Friday. Yep, it's supposed to snow on Friday.
Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, it's hard to figure out exactly what's. But then again, it's so far out. We
Yep.
never really know.
They'll never get it close.
Never have a clue.
Yep.
So
Anyway,
I'm not too concerned about it.
So-
Well, no, I think it'd be actually kind of cool
but
if it snowed decent,
you know,
and then you had like an actual like white Christmas, which I think I've only had like once in my life that I can remember.
So-
I can remember it snowing on Thanksgiving though. I
Yeah.
can remember having like a rough Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
where there was like enough snow where we had sledding.
Yeah.
And then I can remember I never remembered snowing in May. It's never snowed in May. That I remember close, like the end of April, but now I never remember snowing
Right.
in May. And I think the earliest I remembered snow significantly was on Thanksgiving because family came down and it snowed. much.
so I can remember being stationed when I was stationed in Maine, right?
That doesn't count.
Well, hold on.
It snows there all year.
No, it doesn't. But every year, Thanksgiving, it seemed like it snowed, right? But the entire time I was there, not one time did I ever have a white Christmas. Now it would snow like the day before,
And it would cover it.
and it would be like maybe the day after we'd have snow, but it never snowed on Christmas. It wasn't until I moved here that I got my very first white Christmas.
I am really excited about Christmas, which I mean, everybody's usually always excited about Christmas, but overly because every year it seems like somebody gets sick, we could have
Yeah.
it. We didn't get to do Thanksgiving because I got
Yep.
COVID, and that really sucked.
Yep.
And I still have a turkey in the freezer, and figure out something to do with that. And really fresh turkey too. So all those things,
Yep.
and it's like Christmas is coming, and that's like when we were coming over being sick. We're still, coming over being sick. I still have, I'm still coughing and stuff a little bit here, there,
Yeah.
exhausted. So every time something I don't feel good, I'm like, oh my God, please don't get sick. Oh my God, don't get sick. I'm like,
Yeah.
Anna went to the doctor the other day and she was like, I'm full of people with flu. I'm like, oh, get out of there. I don't really want to get sick. I don't want to ruin it. Because, and it's funny because the whole COVID time we didn't do anything either. Like,
Right.
most of the time, COVID. And, my sister was a teacher. She is a teacher, she's a principal. So she's always having, she's getting it first and she's always really worried
Yep.
about it. So that was having issues then. And that was even like, on Thanksgiving, I was ready to go. Like, I
Yeah.
was going to go. I felt better. And she was like, take another COVID test. It was positive. So it comes, I think it's funny that in the 3 years this has been happening,
right.
I never got it. And then I got it back to back. I got it in July, and then
Yep.
you got it a couple weeks ago. So it's really weird that it happened like that.
Yeah.
So I just.
Well, and it's funny about being sick is, so I went to, I went to grappling class on Monday, and then on
grappling?
Yep.
Like grappling fighting? Or like grappling throwing grappling hooks? I
grappling.
would have rather it been grappling hook
Yes,
class.
no,
Okay.
we can do that though. That'd be a cool class.
Don't know how to teach that one.
So I made grappling class and met this really cool dude. We partnered up. His name was Bob.
Okay.
So we were sitting there and I told Bob, he says, "You're going to be back on the next grappling day." I said, "Yeah, I'll be back." Dude, Tuesday morning, I had to go into work, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I had like this little cough. It wasn't terrible, but I just, I had this cough and I was like, all right, no big deal. Tuesday night, I come home and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I am not okay. I am not okay. And I was like asleep by like super, super early in bed, knocked out, woke up, I woke up, I wasn't feeling great, but I was like, I'm not going back to it was supposed to be back on Wednesday. I was going back to grappling class. I'm like, I ain't getting out of bed. I barely got to work, but and I worked from home and all that. And it was nice, but I was sitting there and I was like, so Bob, if you're listening, sorry, wasn't trying to gaff you off. I just was not feeling well. But, it was like, here it is Friday. Feel way, way better.
What was the term you just used?
What's that?
Gaff you off?
Yeah, gaff you off. You never heard that?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Nope. Never heard that. Gaff, I think of like when you're fishing.
Yeah. And then try to gaff you off.
Gaff something?
Yeah.
So like,
trying to gaff you off.
sorry, I wasn't trying to throw a spear at you.
Right, exactly. What's wrong?
Look at the window. He's just staring at us. He wants to come in really bad.
He's not happy.
He's really sad. He was in here earlier.
I know.
He was trying to be, not mess up the wires.
Right.
So he sat in the corner, and I thought, okay, maybe he could be in here the whole day. But no, he had to kick him out because he messes stuff up.
Yeah.
So now he's over there pounding.
But
Well, here's something interesting that happened.
yeah, what's up?
Virginia puts out their different catalogs about different things. Some's hunting, fishing. This is freshwater fishing and boating that came out. This is new. It just came in the mail.
I did.
We just got it, like literally, like,
Yeah, that's what Ann was telling me, like today.
yeah. But I just got it like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, pretty cool. These are just something. They always
Virginia
produce.
put some new rules in place.
Most of this is just stuff that you already know. Like
that's
you
true.
should know if you have a boater's license, or you should know a lot of the stuff that's going over, like markers and how that kind of works. But they did do some stuff that's interesting in here. They did change around some things.
Yeah, they did. Well, we saw the one where the invasive species.
So we talked about.
Hey, look at there.
We talked about Alabama bass.
Look at that. Join Loudoun County Sheriff's Office.
That man, Loudoun County is putting ads everywhere.
Hey.
You go look at Cat in the Hat you go and take Cat in the Hat out of the library,
Yeah.
and there'll be an ad for Loudoun County Sheriff's Center. They are dying for people.
It's starting at 55,000 to 72,000.
Yeah, that's
4,000 relocation bonus.
have
Jeez,
fun.
15 days off per month.
Oh, so they're working like 12s or something. Okay, so Alabama bass.
We talked about this, right?
I don't know how they're going to fix this problem because it doesn't look that different. And when you look at them, it's really hard.
You
So
can't tell the difference.
I don't know what they expect people to do about that because they look so similar to me. Alabama bass and regular bass. But
Yeah, we need to talk to them.
hey, this is Mark from the Hunting Quest. You need to change that.
They will.
But the snakehead thing's interesting. So we
Yeah.
know the snakehead, we know the bowfin. They should do more about telling people not to kill bowfin because we don't have a lot of bowfin around.
No,
here. They're not common.
Right.
Midwest, they get more common than other places, but we don't have many of them around.
No.
They are similar fish. They're both air breathers, so on and so forth.
Well-
They look similar. If you've never caught a bowfin and all you've heard about a snakehead, you would
Right.
think that was a snakehead.
Sure.
But I don't know if we're reading this right.
I don't know, man.
Where is it?
So it says it down at the bottom. It says anglers.
This is verbatim what it says.
Yeah. You want me to read it or you want to read it?
You go ahead and read it.
All right.
I'll do some music in the background.
It says anglers are encouraged to contact DWR with all snakehead catches, but are required to call if they plan to keep a legally caught fish, which must be killed before being taken into possession.
So let me ask a couple questions real quick.
Yeah.
If they're invasive species, there's an illegal way to catch them?
Nope.
Because I thought you could catch wherever you wanted if they're invasive.
That's what I thought too.
And then it says if legally caught. So if it's not, so if you catch it illegally, you don't have to call. First off, apparently. Why they want you to call if you plan on keeping it? Now I understand. Now see, I can understand if they said something like if you plan on keeping it and taking it home alive.
Oh God, no.
Then yeah, I can see them be like, hey,
Yeah, no.
no, but that's not what that's talking about. It definitely says you have to kill it if you're going to take it home.
Right.
And they want you
Why would you do? Those things got massive teeth. Why would you try to keep that alive? That's dumb. Anyway,
people have weird things, but I don't think that's what that's about. So I don't know. I guess they just want you to call if you're going to eat it. But so like if you, so they say you don't have to kill them anymore if you don't feel comfortable doing it. Yeah, because that's what it says. It says you don't have to kill it.
right. I get it. But
So my thing is, but then why wouldn't they want you to call if you don't kill it?
I don't know.
That I don't understand that.
Well, it's saying you're encouraged to call
Yeah, if you're going
if you
to,
catch one.
if you're going to take it home.
No, it says
Anglers
it's-
are encouraged to contact DNR with snakehead catches, but are required to call.
Yep. if you're going to keep it.
But why would you be required to call if you're going to keep it, but not required if you're not going to keep it?
Well,
what's the data difference?
I don't get it. And maybe it's where they start trying to track.
Keep a legally caught fish.
Maybe they're trying to track the keeps.
Okay, wait a minute. So are you telling me that they're...
I don't know how they're going to do it, first of all.
Are they calling... Oh, no. Wait a minute.
What?
Did they move snakehead off the list? Is it somewhere
Invasives?
else?
No. I don't think so. Maybe they did. I don't know.
No, there's no way. No. So I don't understand this. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And what the hell is a freshwater drum?
Oh, freshwater drums are wild.
I know what drums are.
Yeah.
You're saying a sheephead is a freshwater drum?
Yeah.
Sheephead's not a freshwater fish.
You're right.
It's got people teeth.
Yeah, it has people teeth. They're weird. You ever eat sheephead?
No, I mean, I've caught one. Never ate one.
I don't know that I'm trying to remember if I've ever eaten
I think people eat them. I think people like them.
I don't know.
Fall fish, that's gross. I don't know what a flyer is. It looks like a regular bluegill.
Yeah, it's a sunfish.
But then there's other... I will say, you know what I'm really shocked about, and out of all the things that I've learned, I had no idea how many shad were in the Potomac.
Till you go bow fishing.
You never catch them, and you always hear about the shad runs, the shad and this and that. You never
Millions.
catch them. And then when you go out at night, and those little suckers, they run by the boat like a dolphin or something.
Same thing with the pinfish.
Yeah, they are all... Well, I knew they were... And I didn't know the gar were there, and I didn't know they were near that many gar.
Right. Tons of them.
Now, you talk about a cool pet. Remember when I saw a little baby gar? We were out there. He was like this big.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a cool fish to have in the tank.
I had a shovel-nosed catfish forever, and that thing was a beast. We named him Dahmer. He ate his brother.
I mean, that makes sense. It would explain the name.
Yep. Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're out and about and you see one of these, pick it up. We got a whole bunch. They sent us like a couple hundred of them.
Yeah.
It's worth looking at. It breaks down the counties, the stocking plan for the trout.
Yep. Always a good
which
one.
is nice because you never have it. And then...
Well, they got the stocking plan, and do they give the dates on when they're going to stock? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, so they give the dates on stocking, but you can't fish, what is it, a week after? And once they stock, you have to wait a week or something like that?
No, there's all different kinds of weird ones. So if you look like it at like page, whatever page, I don't know, 30,
Yeah.
this gives you all the weird regulations. Delayed harvest, catch and release, delayed harvest, seasonal catch and release. So, yeah, there's all kinds of weird trout shit. But, I mean, it's not real.
Yeah. Well,
Because they just dump them in there and you go.
well, tomorrow,
But, yeah, this is worth, like I said, if you're going
yeah,
out. And
it's
you wanna
definitely
check
worth
them out,
looking at. Knowing what the rules are before you get out there so the game warden can't write you.
A couple things have changed. Most of it hasn't. They don't want you stacking rocks anymore in the river.
Yeah.
I noticed that now like 5 times in these catalogs. And that's with hunters and everybody.
Yeah.
And then
I don't understand that.
the rock stacking thing. Why people do it?
Why people do it. I mean, I get it on the hiking trails.
I think. Well, so do you know why that's part of a problem with a hiking trail? So they used to. There's a couple of things that are funny about that. Let me bring this up. On a hiking trail, when they would stack the rocks, those were indicators for trail markers.
Right.
Well, then randomly people started going in like streams and rivers and waterways and area just stacking rocks.
Oh, God.
So now people are like, how the hell do I go? So that's where you're supposed to, if it's not part of trail markers, just kick it over.
Right.
Second thing, you ever been on a trail and it has like a 4x4 that comes out of the ground and it's cut off at a point?
Yep.
And it'll have like a mile marker on there or something?
Yep.
Do you know why it's like that?
I used to. I don't remember it anymore.
So it's like this. It's like an angle.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's an angle? And not square on the top?
No. What?
To tie your shoes.
That's
what it's
pretty
for.
slick.
Yep.
All right. I didn't know that.
And so you can put your foot against their tight shoes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check your shoes.
Just one little thing that you never would have thought that would be.
That's pretty slick. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, these are out for 2023. And I guess the other one should be coming out soon.
Yeah.
The hunting one and then the waterfowl one.
Well, the hunting one doesn't come out until I think it comes out in June. May, June.
I don't know. We usually have them for a while.
Really?
Because they look the same. So
Well, I know they got to come out before turkeys.
The color's a little. It's got to come out for spring turkey.
Yeah. So,
Spring turkey. Oh, so this is really interesting.
yeah.
Somebody tells me near where I live one day. They said, "Hey, have you seen this big fox?" And I said, "What big fox?" They said, big fox, it sleeps on top of a round bale all day. I said, get out of here. I said, no, it sleeps in this round bale, and they tell me which round bale it is. So every day I look, I never see this fox.
Okay.
And I'm looking all the time. I'm looking. So the other day I'm pulling out of my house, I look over at another field, and I see this orange thing on top of a hay bale. But it's huge, and I can't figure out what it is. It's this damn fox. I had the wrong hay bale.
It is legit.
This fox legitimately sleeps up there all day.
No way.
And then every so often he looks around, and then goes back down, and I guess it's like his spot, and it's the coolest thing ever.
No way.
I've never seen a fox.
Right, that'd be
have
pretty
activity
slick.
like that. Well, they're curious and stuff, but
Yeah.
I've never seen one climb and get altitude.
Yeah, no.
To like overwatch stuff.
No.
Which to me is just really, really
Yeah,
cool.
that's pretty slick.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty darn neat that he was
Yeah,
doing
that's
that.
cool as hell.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like that from a fox.
I didn't know this until, I don't know, probably a couple of years ago. Fox typically don't, I mean, like when there's a main fox in the area, you typically don't see another fox within a couple of miles. If there's a head fox, they're not highly social. Now the females will be around, but you typically don't see, foxes, male foxes together within a couple of miles of each other.
So people don't believe this. This is true. When Moose was little, when he was under a year old, he was outside one day. And I looked out front. He was in the front yard. And we're in the middle of nowhere. We're way back in the middle of nowhere. And he's in the
This is
front.
the place you're at now?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're out there, and he's in the front of the property in the field, and I can see him running around. He's playing around. And I'm thinking, we have one littler dog.
Right.
It's like Jack Russell size, maybe a little bigger than Jack Russell. And I see her running around.
That's
and
the
I
one
see
that
him
kills-
running around. That's the one that kills everything.
Yeah,
that
I
can
got you.
kill. So I'm looking around, and he's playing with something, and I think it's the other dog. So I come in, the other dog's at the house.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what's the dog playing with? She's, what are you talking about? We go outside. And there's a juvenile fox, and they're that darker color,
Yeah.
or at least the one he was, like a more gray and black
Sure.
than the red and orangish.
Yeah.
And they were running around playing together, and I couldn't believe it that this wild fox was. And then we caught him back, and he laughed, no problem. And for like a month, I'd see him every so often playing around.
No way.
And then he was just disappeared one day. So I asked the vet about it. I was like, is that strange? To me, it's strange. It doesn't sound real. And they were like, no, it's not that strange, first off.
Really?
With their juveniles, they don't.
Yeah, they just don't get it.
They
Yeah.
don't know the difference. And she said the only concern you have to be is that they're both really young and
Yeah.
you don't want to get each other sick.
Sure.
So you kind of want to discourage them from being near each other. But as far as like risk of anything, they're like, no, not really. Just little,
That's pretty slick.
the little guys. So that's it. And you know what else I found out from the vet?
What's that?
We have porcupine around here.
Yes.
They had no idea we had
Yes,
porcupine around
I know
here.
you
I
have
have
porcupine.
never seen a porcupine.
Yep.
And he says that all the time they get calls for quivers
Oh, yeah.
in the dogs.
Quills, not quivers.
Quills. Was
Yeah.
that what it? Yeah. And I'm like, I've never seen a porcupine.
Have you ever seen a dog with
I've seen
quills in his nose?
pictures. Looks terrible.
Dude.
Well, that's what Dummy would do. Moose would be all about it. Yeah, he got sprayed by a skunk in the face twice in a row. That just shows you how dumb he is.
Oh,
He
poor
literally,
guy.
so we used to, when we first moved out too, we had a ton of skunks,
Right.
which was honestly great
Yeah.
because they're like badgers and they're crazy. They're whatever family that, weasels and,
Yeah.
otters and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're not afraid of anything. And then on top of that, they have the smell. So they keep all the little rodent stuff out. They don't mess with them, and they're great. I mean, they're just wandering around. But where we were, they were fearless.
Oh, yeah.
They'd come right up to you.
Right.
And not aggressively, just like come up to you, see what you're doing. And one was outside, like in the evening. It was really early evening. And Moose went up to it, was checking it out.
Yeah.
And it spun around on Moose, and Anna's trying to find it. I just hear Anna screaming.
Yeah.
No! And he sprays Moose right in the face. And then Moose just doesn't run. He just stares at him.
He's been shocked.
And then he sprays him again, and it was like, oh my god! It was.
Two
It took
direct
so
shots.
long to get this. We had to buy like I don't know,
Yeah, the
de-skunking
de-skunk stuff,
fluid,
yeah.
like-
And that stuff's not cheap.
well, I tied him to the four wheeler, like with two
Oh,
different, like
no.
because he didn't want to, he didn't want to get washed. So I tied him with like two different leashes.
Yeah.
And then I started hosing him off them and just started pouring
Oh, it smells so bad.
de-skunking stuff on him,
And it doesn't work.
it cut it down like 50%. Like
Yeah,
it cut it down
but-
a lot, but he smelled like skunk for like 6 months.
Oh, it's awful.
It
terrible.
wasn't as bad.
It's terrible.
But yeah, no, it was. The wildlife encounters we have are interesting.
Yeah.
Or like, so the little one, she'll just bring back like legs of deer.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me.
I'm like, where did you find this? Like, I know you didn't rip it off, did you? I don't know
Yeah.
if you did.
Well, there's one guy that was just in here. He was talking about the coyotes that are, on his farm. He's like,
So you know what really surprised me?
massive.
When we had coyotes for a little while.
Right.
And we had 2 female dogs, and we got moose. The second moose started peeing everywhere, they were gone.
Really?
Yep, never came back. Yep, kind of left the area, didn't want to come back, didn't want to deal with it. Well, that guy that was in here earlier, he breeds black labs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's always got a whole bunch of dogs over there.
Yeah.
And I was really, because he was talking about, like, he had, like,
He's got a lot of farmland now.
he was talking about how many mates he had from that dog. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He was like, da-da-da-da. And I thought, man, if he's got, like, 8 dogs out there,
You shouldn't
I'm
see a
really
coyote,
shocked that these coyotes were still coming up there.
So here's something cool about coyotes. People don't know. So when you hear a coyote, when you hear a pack of coyotes and they start howling, right? First thing, when it starts to get dark, when they're howling, they're doing their thing. That's like a roll call, right? So all of them are checking in. And when one of them doesn't call in, the females immediately start going into heat within like so many hours or days. I can't remember what it is. I have to look it up. But they immediately go back into heat and they start getting ready to have pups because one of them goes missing. And you're like, dude, you talk about survival of the freaking species there. That's insane. I mean, that's I don't know. That's just a straight up boss mode right there. Oh, such and such didn't call. Oh, time to have more pups. All right, cool. Let's go. It's like, dude, that's insane. But yeah, that guy was telling me about that. And, and then you hear things like Rock Creek Park down in DC. They're actually trying to bring in coyotes. And I'm like,
So I watched a whole big show one day about coyotes.
Yeah.
And how
not to be confused with Coyote
Peterson.
Peterson, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Lied. That they thrive in urban environments.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they had videos of them like in cities, like big cities.
They're
where
all
they
in
were
New York.
living in the alleys, and they were going
Oh,
through
yeah.
and they were doing stuff. And people never realized that they saw their dogs, but they were coyotes, and they were
Yep.
living in these places that you never thought they would live.
Yep.
The same way you have raccoons and stuff. I guess it's all.
Yeah, New York City has tons of them, tons and tons of them. Well, I wouldn't say tons, but they have quite a few within the city, and you wouldn't think that they'd be there. But
It's funny because
they do help control the rat population.
They help control a lot of stuff. That's even like the everybody hates possums.
Oh,
Possums are great to have around.
I love possums.
Possums, they eat bugs and insects,
Yep.
and they don't really
Ticks.
do anything. And you can never get them to be aggressive. They'll
Right.
make noise at you, but they'll never bite you.
They're awesome.
They're afraid of everything.
Yeah, they
so it's
are.
like they're fine to have. Raccoons dangerous. They can break bad really fast. But
Yeah.
a possum is tenfold less likely to do anything. It's like the snakes. Mm-hmm. And the
Have you ever seen a possum play dead?
Yeah.
Like legit?
Oh yeah.
So our dogs we had one that came in the backyard, and I have no idea why this possum thought it was an okay deal to come in our backyard, but he did. And he came in from the woods, he's just kind of moping along. Well, Oslo's at the time, I think he was like 90 something pound, Roddy, and the French bulldog, Bugsy, and they go tearing out, and it's like, I don't know, and trying to figure it all out. I go out and here's this freaking possum, and they're just taking swipes at this possum, and I'm like, so the possum goes to play dead. Well, they also excrete this god awful smell that makes them smell like they're dead. And what was even worse was my dogs were not fazed by it. It was horrible. It smelled god awful. My dogs thought it was cool, and they were going to roll in it. And I'm like, oh.
So the only possum run-in I had with the dogs was now where we're at now.
Yeah.
We lived in a neighborhood, like a 1/4 acre lots. So the dogs used to eat outside. So I'd put them outside the porch and they'd eat outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd make them sit outside for a couple hours and I'd bring them in. Well, it was like around, I want to say like Thanksgiving time because we were trying to clean because everybody was coming the next night. So we were just cleaning the whole house. You know what I mean? So it's like 3 a.m. We're still working. And I have left the dogs outside. Well, unbeknownst to me, this possum's been coming at night.
Yep.
Wandering down after they go to bed.
Yep.
Getting on the porch and eating whatever food they left.
Sure.
What do I care? Well, they're asleep by the door, trying to be asleep. Well, this possum, he's an old big possum, walks up, starts eating the food, and they wake up. So all of a sudden, we're sitting there, and then we hear all this screeching and yelling and commotion.
Oh, no.
And I turn out, and the possum's in the middle, and they are spinning in circles around the possum.
Oh, no.
And Hazel's ready to kill it. She wants to bite it. Bailey's kind of, I don't know what she's doing. But they're spinning around and spinning around and spinning around, and Anna's trying to get him to stop, and she can't get him to stop. So the bigger dog, I walk out, I'm like, Bailey, inside. So she's like, okay. She turns and walks, well, Anna's trying to get Hazel under control, but she's a little more focused.
Yeah.
So finally, Hazel drops it for a moment and looks at Anna. And the second she looks, that possum goes, oh, now's my chance. Wham! And bites her right in the snout. So that was the one time I've ever seen a possum be aggressive.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then she was all right, and just grabbed her.
They got some teeth on them, though.
Grabs her and puts her inside. She had a couple little punctures in there. She was fine. But their body temps are so cold. They normally don't even carry rabies.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I mean, if they're clean, like they don't look that bad. Like their skin, their fur is really nice.
Yeah.
But like anything else, they get weird mange and stuff too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like when you talk about skin and stuff. For the fur, you don't ever want to do in the summer because it's all destroyed. You know what I mean? And that's kind of they kind of have the same thing, but they don't have any meat in their head.
Right.
That's why they have that weird look.
Oh, yeah. So we were supposed to be going to do something really cool tomorrow, but you got sick, and now you can't go.
Yeah, I was supposed to go. We were going to Alaska to go Bigfoot hunting.
No, not a chance.
No, not Bigfoot hunting. No.
Nope, try good.
We were going to. By the way, I got a request on the phone that we should talk about beef jerky and how to make beef jerky.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't know how to make beef jerky.
Oh, beef jerky's great.
Yeah, I think I could figure it out.
Teriyaki beef jerky's my favorite.
I could buy it too.
Oh, why?
I've had it bought before.
Why?
Once in a while. Oh, so I did a dick move today, too, by the way, really quick.
Why would you eat beef jerky? Why don't you just do deer jerky?
Well, so that's what I did today. Did you hear about what I did today?
I did. You're a horrible person.
So a guy
You're
comes...
an absolutely horrible person.
So a gentleman comes in who goes in all the time. And I've helped out a million things, whatever. And he walks through, and he has this brown paper bag. And... sorry, I'm getting a little hoarse. And he comes in...
You got a drink right there.
And he says, I know, but it's not going to get better. He says, here, I made you, I got you this deer salami.
Right.
And everybody knows I don't really like deer. And I think he's messing with me. I think he's like joking with me because I'm like, here's some deer salami. I know you hate it. And I was like, that's what I need.
Was it deer salami or was it bologna?
Deer
or was it like
bologna. I don't know what it is.
Was it like summer sausage or what?
Sure. And he says, here he goes, da, 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 da. And I just was like, oh, that's what I need, more deer meat. Da, 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 da. And I didn't realize that he wasn't being like funny. Like he didn't do it like to be, here, Marcus, I know you hate it. He was just nice, and I felt so bad.
Good, you should have. You should have felt absolutely horrible because of that.
I did. I felt really bad.
You're good. Good. It serves you right.
No, deer tastes, I don't know.
Deer is delicious. And we did, so the other day, one of my things that I think I do pretty good as far as cooking, there's like a couple of things that I can cook okay with. And one of them is
groundhog pot pie.
No, sausage biscuits and gravy, right? That's like my thing.
It's tough.
And
with flour and water and grease. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You are an ass. It's not tough. It's tough to make it taste good. So I use we have deer breakfast sausage. So made that. Oh, that's delicious, man. I mean, you cannot go wrong with that. You can't. I mean, I don't know what's your problem.
The consistency's not the same. It can't be. It's not like pork.
It's sausage.
Oh my God! Have you heard of this thing called beef bacon?
No. I'll go look it up.
Okay.
But anyway,
it's right up your alley of like things that aren't exactly what they are.
So if you want to do deer jerky, if somebody wants to do deer jerky, we'll do it's not hard. You can do it with probably the easiest way to do it is with the dehydrator. I like the teriyaki stuff, but however you want to do it, but we can do something on that. That's not hard.
No, I agree. So I'd really like to know what the difference between like kippered beef is and like actual. So like when you get jerky,
Yeah.
there's hard jerky.
Yeah.
There's
how
like,
it's cut.
There's like, it's really thin and stuff. And then there's thicker jerky. And then there's like kippered beef.
Right.
And then there's like Slim Jim sticks. And there's like this some more like, they remind you more of like a salami stick. And there's, so I don't know. I know that things change drastically when they're making them. And I don't know even what kippering means versus non.
It's about I think it's about how it's cut. And then how
It's never as dry.
right.
So I wonder
But
if it's
cooked instead of dehydrated. Yeah.
You ever had pork jerky? It's really good.
Really? I've had
Really, really
I've
good.
had turkey jerky. That's gross.
this-
That was like the worst ever.
No, but like barbecue turkey. God damn it, barbecued pork jerky.
Never
Really,
had-
really, really good. Bacon jerky.
No, never had that.
Which, by the way, I don't think it's jerky. I think they just put bacon in a bag because bacon doesn't really go bad. You know what I mean? So, but they sell it in like a jerky bag.
Right.
I would see. So, what is beef bacon? And then I'd rather say there. Simply put, beef bacon is a variation of regular bacon made from beef rather than pork. Beef bacon is generally made from thin sliced pork belly, like traditional beef. No, like traditional bacon. Beef bacon can also be made from beef belly. However, you can also make it from the brisket round for leaner options.
Why would you do that with a brisket?
No idea. That sounds disgusting.
Well, I'd do the beef belly.
So
but
let's.
I wouldn't do the.
Well, so here's a good example
Yeah.
of completely different. Pork ribs,
yeah,
little baby back ribs, whatever, delicious.
yeah,
Short rib, it's a totally different thing.
yeah.
It's not even close to the same.
Right.
Yeah, it's a rib, but it's not even close to being the same.
Right.
I mean, a beef rib and a pork rib, like
Yeah.
you're not just going, oh, a beef rib. They're gross like that.
Right.
It's not. It's like a slow roasted kind
Yeah.
of thing. It's not smoked.
Right.
Whereas a pork rib, so I can't imagine that the bacon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I saw.
I'll look into it.
Well, I saw a thing where a guy was cooking and he took this bacon and he was like, slew it. It was this weird mass of crap.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the weirdest kind of bacon I've ever. It looked like chipped.
Yeah,
You know
what is
I mean?
that? You called it chip beef?
Yeah, like chipped beef,
Yeah,
like cream chip
I don't
beef.
know what that is.
You've never had cream chip beef?
no. We
You've
talked
never
about
had
this.
chipped beef at all?
No.
Oh my god.
We talked about this. No,
so good.
I don't know.
I just like chipped meat in general. Like you can go. So if you go get ham, you just get chip. We talked about this. You should.
We did.
You done it yet?
No, dude, I got too many things
Oh
going
my
on.
gosh, it's so good. So
will.
yeah, but that's kind of what it looked like. And I was like, that looks weird to me. And then I saw.
I did look it up. I did look up chip beef. I did look it up.
You
when
could
you
go.
talked about
You
it.
could go right now to the store and go to the little Stouffer's aisle, and there's a frozen things, and in the bag it says cream chip beef.
No.
And you buy it, and it's in a bag, and you heat it up. It's really good. In
Yeah,
the
no.
microwave, and you pour it over
No,
toast.
no.
It's better than I think it's better than sausage gravy. It's the same thing. It's the same kind of gravy. It looks exactly the same.
It's white gravy.
Yeah.
White gravy over the top of it.
Yeah. It's like it's not regular beef. It's like corned beef.
I don't know.
What's it called?
We
What-
ventured off.
what did I
path
just
here.
call it?
Yeah. Cream chip beef.
Cream.
No.
Listen, we can't vary off topic because we had no topic for today.
Well, we didn't, but
So look
you're-
at that. Let's cream chip beef.
all right.
Well, that's really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks like a Reuben.
It's kind of it's not though.
It looks like a Reuben.
The meat is it's like I said, it's like corned beef. No, it's really, 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 really good.
Well, Reuben's corned beef.
I know, but it's more to it. This is just it's much thinner.
got you.
Way thinner.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do. I don't know. I'm not buying anything out of it. I'm not buying frozen meat.
No, but if you wanted to try it, just a simple thing, you just got. I mean, Stouffer's is fine. They make
All right. I'm not buying. I'll buy like meat. And
a little bit of stuff. I mean, if you don't
Not
want to make a
buying
whole big
frozen.
thing of it, it's not bad.
All right. We'll give it a shot.
I don't know.
You said to try it, so I'll give it a shot.
I've got, like-
Unlike other people who won't eat deer meat, it's
Oh no! I've eaten plenty of deer meat. I've eaten plenty of deer meat. I've eaten plenty
Just
of
throw a fit
gross
about it.
bluefish, and I've tried plenty of gross catfish. Didn't like any of it. I'm just a realist. My mother will do that to me. She'll be here, try this, and I'm like, I've had it. Have you ever had it before? Yeah, I'm 30 some odd years old. I've had it. I like it. This isn't a big secret.
In our house, we called it a no thank you bite.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, we called it a no thank
Listen,
you.
my mother would just make you eat it. Like she would just drive you to try it.
Yeah. Ours
She was
was-
also classic with the classic like that tastes horrible.
Here, try that.
Well, why do I want it? I don't want it.
I don't want
You
it.
said it was
No,
terrible.
you got to try it.
Or she'd give it to you and then look at you
Yeah.
and like snicker, like hee. And I'm like,
Misery
you know what?
loves
That's
company,
not
right?
even what I want. Like you're up to something. Anna does that a little bit, not too bad.
So anyway, we were talking about this though. So tomorrow you were supposed to be going. Where were you supposed to be going? Not to Alaska.
Not to Alaska.
Yeah, no.
We were supposed to be going to
Cambridge, Maryland.
Maryland,
Yep.
to go duck hunting.
Yep.
But we're not going duck hunting because they had too much time off already because of
Yeah.
COVID. So,
We
You
are
are
not.
gonna go.
I am going to go.
and
Yep.
I don't think it's cold enough.
Yeah. They said they limited out day before yesterday.
It needs to be crappy out. Like it
Yeah.
has not been crappy out.
Right, I know.
Like we had 2 days of crappiness. You need like a solid week of
Oh, I agree.
of crap weather.
Yeah.
Like wake up and don't want to go outside weather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what you really
Yeah,
need.
that'll be in January, February.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
we're just not there yet. We still got these random 60-degree days and stuff in the mix.
Yep.
Like what did it hit today? It felt pretty warm today in the middle of the day.
Yeah. So our guy, so we're going out and
It's
so
a new
there's-
guy, right?
Yeah, new guy.
Undetermined.
Right. And I even told Travis.
We're not going to talk about him until we find out.
Right. I told Travis that I was cheating on him. So
Did he tell you that you were going to take a bunch of equipment out and film?
no, I didn't even tell these people that. I didn't even tell them.
So assuming you're not going to film anything.
No, I will. I'm just not going to tell them
You do
about
the
it.
microphones and the camera.
It's only 2 of us because there were supposed to be 4 of us.
So you can run a camera.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I got plenty of room. So now I'm going to take. I'm not going to take a bunch of stuff. Like when I go with Travis, we take like a lot of cameras and all of that stuff. So this time I'm only going to take, I think, like 2 cameras, a GoPro and a stand, and then maybe a mic. And
And the mics are nice.
yeah,
Mics make a big difference.
yeah, so we'll get that squared away, but see how it goes. It'll be fun. I mean, I'm excited about it, and it's in Maryland. I did find out one thing that I did notice about Maryland is Maryland's DNR site, their site to go get licensing, we found out is rather difficult. It's through Compass. They don't make it really clear on their website what you're supposed to have. They offer this 3-day thing, and they don't tell you, do you have to buy a hunting license, a full, $130 hunting license for non-resident, and they do have this non-resident 3-day thing, and then they don't tell you that you've also got to get a migratory stamp for the state, but they don't call it a migratory stamp, they call it something else. And the whole thing is just, it's such a, and credit to like Virginia. If you go to Virginia's website, and you go to their Department of Wildlife Resources, they don't call it DNR, they call it DWR. Department of Wildlife Resources, you go in there, you go to the app, you go to the website, whatever. You can go in and say, what species do you want to hunt? And say, I want to hunt turkeys.
Human.
Yeah. You're not hunting human.
Is there a human box?
No.
Does
Look, Dahmer.
a trooper come to your house?
Look, Dahmer. But no, so you can you can say, I want to hunt whitetail or I want to hunt ducks. And it tells you for ducks, and we talked about this in one of the earlier podcasts, all the crap that you have to go through to get federal stamp, state stamp, HIP number, the surveys, all of that stuff. But Virginia puts it in this nice little thing and says, this is everything that you need. Now, if you've already got your E-stamp, your federal E-stamp, cool, then you can take it off. Say, okay, I don't need that. But they do it all for you. Maryland does not. And then you're stuck reading like 14 pages of stuff, trying to Google to figure out what I need to be licensed. And so then you call your guide and you ask your guide, and your guide's like, nope, this is what you need. And you're like, all right, cool. And hats off to being a good guide. That's pretty cool. But they do not make this easy, and it's a pain in the ass.
It's not cheap.
God, no, not at all.
Those licenses for out of state are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ridiculously priced. All of it. All those stamps, all the fishing stamps, all the hunting stamps, all the park stamps. They are so much money for out of state.
Just to hunt in Maryland for 3 days for ducks, for everything, not including your federal stamps, $54. And our producer's back. We must have messed up somewhere.
I was waiting for her to say, you have it on audio for like the last half hour. Like,
No.
What are y'all talking about?
I don't even know what you guys have been talking about.
So we've been talking about the Well, we talked about a bunch of stuff, but
We talked about cream chip beef, and Mike said he won't eat anything from Stouffer's. What a weirdo.
I did not say that. I said I'm
I
not
won't
going to
eat
go
frozen
get.
meat.
I'm not going to go get Stouffer cream chip beef from the store. But anyway, so Maryland needs to update their website and make it. It's already hard enough. Why do you make it any more difficult? Spell it out.
What I don't understand is why you don't just have guide licenses that cover everybody. So like boats, for example, if
Right.
you're a boat captain, you get your stamp for the boat.
Yep.
It covers everything for the boat.
Yep.
Basically, the way I think that it should be is, your federal stamps, you're going to have to buy those because they're for all the
Yep,
states.
absolutely.
But past your federal, why they don't just have a license that says myself plus up to 5 or whatever others are good under my license, because they pay extra money for the license, then they pay for their guide license, then they pay for their land leases and all these kind of things.
Yep.
And then when you're adding that in, now you've got the guy paying you $500 to go hunt, and then on
Yep.
top of that, you say, hey, by the way, now you need to get $300 for the license.
Right.
Imagine if you didn't know that, you booked that beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't have the money. Let's just say you didn't have the money to buy that. You're like, well, what do I do now? You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's, I feel that they really flaw that system.
Yeah.
And I think that they don't care if you're out of state.
Yeah.
They really could care less.
Well,
And that's all the states are like that. I don't understand.
And what's bad is it's not even just that, but even if you're in state, there's like in Maryland specifically, like I know in Missouri and Kansas, I know exactly how to get my license in those two states, right? And it's not hard. You know exactly what you need to do. And when you go into or like if you go into like Missouri and you say, okay, this is what I need for my license, right? You can walk into any place you want and go get your license. Virginia's kind of the same way. I think West Virginia is as well. You can go to Walmart and get a license, right? But in Missouri, if you go in there and you say, all right, I'm getting this, I need to hunt deer, I need to hunt ducks, I need to hunt, turkeys. Those are my 3 things. And you go on their web app and say, I want deer, I want ducks, and I want turkey. And it fills your card up and says, this is what it's going to cost you, right? But going back to what you say, some states do that. Some states allow the guides to be able to come in and I think obviously you have to have your federal duck stamp, but you still have to buy like a state HIP, registration survey, all of that stuff, and you buy their state stamp, right? $9, whatever, plus your $20 for the federal license, for the federal stamp, and you're done.
Well, your big states are the ones that make profit off of it. So I think there's a difference.
Maryland makes a lot of profit off of it.
I think when we look at states like, West Virginia, for example.
Sure.
Not making a huge profit off of these things.
Not off of duck hunting,
They're
no.
in a duck hunting or fishing or any of that.
Right.
Are there things that fish
I think they
and
make
so
money
on
off
and
of
so forth?
fishing.
I'd be surprised.
Trout
And
fishing.
you know why I'd be surprised? Because during COVID, the governor said fishing's free.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So like in the middle of COVID, when everyone was at home,
Yeah.
he was like, "You don't need a fishing license, go fish."
Dude, that's cool.
So,
All right,
but that-
I got to give him some credit
That
there.
shows
That's cool.
you, kind of the idea when you look at Maryland, where I think they basically, it's not, the money's not there just to take care of the
Right.
to preserve the environment or whatever. It's there for them to make money
Mm-hmm.
because they've got so much estuary money tied into it. That's why their fees are high. That's why Florida's so ridiculous for like a 3-day pass.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it was. I would say it was like $75.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money for a fishing, and that's,
That migratory, the non-resident migratory for Maryland, just the 3-day pass there is $45. That's to hunt birds for 3 days.
a lot of money.
Yeah, and you can't hunt on Sundays in Maryland.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was so shocked people were hunting here on Sundays in West Virginia.
Well,
I was like,
it's new in Virginia. You used to not be able to hunt in Virginia.
well, the real killer is that, so if you live in West Virginia,
Yeah.
it really sucks for the licenses because if you want to go saltwater fish anywhere, you're going to have to go to a state that touches the saltwater.
Right.
And you're going to have to pay for an out-of-state license.
Oh, yeah.
Which is going to cost you for a title license, which is going to cost you. Now, you get a Virginia one, still good in Maryland, still good in Virginia, it's still good in most places that might as well touch. But it's no good. I'm not going to get one in West. I can't get a title license in West Virginia. They're not going to give it to you. So every time I buy a title license, I got to buy it from another state, and that
Yep.
sucks.
Yep. Or you just go with a charter.
Well-
They get that right. I mean, they give you the charter license, the 6-pack license, whatever you're doing like that.
Well, so we used to even our boat. So like when I was growing up, and you got your boater registration,
Yeah.
you could get a fishing license for the boat.
Yeah.
So it covered even if you were in a commercial, just anybody.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that much money. I think when the licenses were like $30, it was like
Yeah.
$150. And the person that got it, that filled it out, got a hard copy of a regular license for them too.
Yeah.
So you had the boat license, your license, and
Yeah.
whoever you ever brought on the boat was good to go.
Yeah.
And I always gone for the boat.
Yeah.
Because the little bit of money that is,
Yeah.
versus going out and you've got your friends say, make sure I have your license,
Yeah.
and then the
And they
one guy
don't.
doesn't.
Yeah, now you're-
sitting there dealing with that crap.
Yep.
Whereas for what it was just to get it, and I'll never forget, it was just a little striped bass, and it had a year, and it was a different color every
Yep.
year. It would go through and you'd stick it right by your number.
Yep.
And it was just that simple.
Yep.
But out of state stuff, man, they definitely drag you across the coals with that.
Yeah, they do. So, and the cool thing is, this is the other thing is, I'm actually really looking forward to it. So, I think I talked about it. So I shoot Beretta A400, right? And I shoot so there's chokes. Most everybody who's ever shot a shotgun understands about chokes, but for the folks that don't, or maybe not understanding, there's chokes at the end of a shotgun. I shoot a 12 gauge, and at the end of the shotgun, these chokes can taper. So you have the ability to make your pattern smaller, longer range for different shots and different, types of BBs and things like that, So I've always shot, an MR, mid-range, choke from different folks. And I've tried out a lot of different ones. And it's important, if you never shot a choke before, like specific for ducks or turkey or anything, go and, get your duck, pattern and go shoot it. Right. And one of the cool things, well, I'll kind of get to this in a minute, but so I got Allie a new choke for her gun. She got a Jeb's choke. And I actually sent something to Jeb's and said, hey, this is what's going on. And they sent me they basically sent me a choke for her gun and said, hey, look, you can test it out and, do some videos of it and things like that, and you can keep it. It's a $100 choke. So they were really cool about it, and they said, do some videos, talk about it, things like that. Like it, dislike it, whatever, let us know. So she got one she shoots a Stoeger 3500. And it's kind of cool because Allie's pretty beast when it comes to shotguns. She shoots a 12 gauge shotgun. I mean, you've met her. She's a small gal. She shoots 12 gauge shotgun, 3.5 inch, generally 1,500 feet per second. So, when she pulls the trigger on it, most, and no discredit to any females out there who shoot 12 gauges and have no problems with it, but she gets in there and she pulls the trigger on anything and doesn't have a problem with it. So tomorrow I'm pretty excited to see what she does, as the ducks come in. But pro tip, right? If you didn't get a chance to pattern your gun, right, and the ducks are coming in, one of the things that you can do is, say you shoot a duck or somebody shoots a duck and it's crippled, right? It hits the water. Ask your guide or whoever if you can shoot the crippled, right? And when you do, pay attention to your pattern and you get a water pattern.
That'll work.
So pro tip right there. So if you didn't get a chance to pattern it, that's a good way to pattern it. Just don't shoot as decoys because they'll get pissed off about that. So, and I get that.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that. Have you seen the new decoys that make noise?
I've seen butt spitters.
So there's
but I haven't seen
new
ones that make
decoys that make noise, and basically anywhere that it's legal to have a spinning or moving
Yeah, they call them
decoy,
mojos.
anything that moves in any way, they're legal in those states. You can also get these ones that make noise.
Are they like calls, or what are they, like feeding calls, or what are they doing?
Like a feeding noise.
No kidding.
I meant to save it to show you because they hide the antennas for it so it looks like it's feeding. And the antennas are hid because the wings are up a little bit.
Right.
The antennas are under the wings.
No way.
And it'll move too, but it'll make a feeding noise.
Now we use the ones that are duck spit. They call them butt spitters, right? Mm-hmm. And they got the butt sit up, and then they'll shoot butt up.
So mostly, I think basically you've got regular wood decoys, then you've got flappers,
Yep.
then you've got the butt ones, but these were new.
The only reason why we use butt spitters really is like when I'm in Kansas or Missouri or something like that, and it's really, really cold, and we forgot to bring like one of our ice eaters out. So we'll put that out to keep the water, because we'll go out and bust ice, and so we can put decoys out in water and get them to come in. We'll bust the ice, but when you're doing that, you've got to be you've got to be able to keep the water from freezing up again. So we use the butt spitters for that. They typically don't last for more than 3 or 4 hours because by that time they freeze up. But,
So I don't know if this is. I think I found the wrong thing. So I'll have to find it. I saw a little chatterduck.
okay, chatterduck, huh?
First ever made decoy that generates mechanical sound of chattering ducks in the water. While doing so, it also has a back flicking feet. My phone froze. But it was really interesting.
I'll take a look at it.
I had never heard anything about it before. Obviously, it's limited. It's going to be something you had to use in the water. Can't use it in the field.
Right,
That doesn't
yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah.
Unlike your flappers, you're not going to use them in the water.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to.
Send me the link if you would.
As soon as this phone loads the page, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
So that now, have you seen the remote control one?
Yeah,
we
we
can
use
set a
those.
little pattern.
Yeah. Or we don't have the ones. We don't have them like that, but we have them where like you can hit the button and they'll start, so you're not constantly killing the batteries. They're not like constantly.
So have you ever seen like a Roomba? They got a little
Yeah.
Roomba one.
No kidding.
Drive around, do little patterns, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty neat. I mean, I don't. It's kind of getting out there a bit of stretch.
Oh, yeah.
That those ducks are looking that hard. That guy didn't move. Nah, fly over. So I think the chattering part's neat.
Yeah.
Yet again, though, I don't know what they hear distance wise.
Oh, they hear.
I don't know if
I mean, you think about it.
when they're way up there if they hear all that.
Oh, they do. They do. I mean, if you hear like Travis when you're in the stand and we had 3 different guides in the stand, in the blind that we were in last time. And you'd have somebody call in, then you'd have somebody, feed call, then you'd have somebody, with the whistle, depending on what it is. And
So I think that's the catch with
You know.
these. I think you could with the decoys and the noises. It's
Yeah.
mechanical noises.
Right.
You can't have tape noise.
right.
And I think this makes a mechanical noise.
All right.
Which is the reason why they're legal.
Sure.
Anywhere where you can have an automated
Yeah.
motion.
That's
decoy,
pretty cool,
you can
though.
have it. Which was I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, no.
What a cool idea.
But I can't feed call worth the hell, but it's cool once when you finally do get one and it's halfway decent, you're like, yeah.
You know how much those
it's
motorized ones are?
Oh, they're
The
expensive.
$190 a pop.
Yeah, we'll see. Check Max Prairie Wing or Rogers. Those are the 2 that I go to.
Stupid phones not loading anything.
Max Prairie Wing and Rogers are like the 2 big, waterfowl folks.
Well, if you're interested in this chattering thing, go to chatterduck.com. I don't know if it's any good or not, but I just saw it today. I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting. What I did see, and now here's something interesting too. So when we talk about guns in general, selling guns a long time.
Yeah.
Takes a lot to interest me. So usually new stuff, I don't care.
Right.
It's like, oh, look, there's a shield. Now it's
Right.
got, 2 different inches of barrel or whatever. The scars,
Yeah.
the FN rifles,
Yeah.
they came out this week with a scar and a pistol setup.
No way.
So like an 8-inch barrel or something, 223 little thing, and that looked really cool. But they were super expensive. They're like 30. How much were they?
Wow.
Like 32 or something?
Yeah,
Yikes.
$3,200. But that to me was something really really cool.
Well, they're not going to keep them. They'll probably do it as a limited release, right?
And that's the killer with the FN stuff. You
Yep.
never know. But they also did. So they had one that was like. They did recently one in that camo. I can't remember what it was. but-
Optifade camo or the?
No, it was like an old military camo that they did, and it was like the only one they ever did that kind of special camo from them.
Oh yeah.
And they're not selling; they're like stuck in stores. Stores can't get rid of them, so you never know like what's going to take off with the little
Right.
pistols. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But they also do like a designated marksman rifles scar too.
Yeah.
that were supposed to never appear, but you can still find those here and there. So
Those things are expensive. That's
scars
the-
in general are a
that's
lot
the-
of money.
That's the problem, I think, and that's why they sit on the shelves.
I liked the ACR more
Yeah.
than I liked the.
Really?
Oh yeah, the ACR is a sweet gun. To me, it was a lot more user friendly. It wasn't as big and bulky. It worked really well. I got
as expensive either, was it?
ACR.
Or about the same price.
No, not quite, but they're up there. I mean, especially like if you want an original one, like made in New York standpoint, they're pricey. Okay, well, you know what? Let's do what we do once a week now.
So we talked about a lot of ducking. So
So we talked about ducks.
yeah, we
Talked about the
news magazine.
Talked
Talked about we got to get a deer jerky recipe out to whoever it was.
I believe it was sarcasm, but still,
That's fine.
We play off sarcasm, realness. We've been doing a gun a week thing. So
Yeah.
today, Anna put this one out.
This is cool.
A little bit ahead of me. This one's interesting. It's a little out of my wheelhouse. So I normally, like, it's not completely out of my wheelhouse.
Right.
But it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse. It's a little different. So when Ada brought it over,
It was a little out of your will. It's a little out of your time zone too.
It's a little out of my. This was not when I was around. I like antique stuff, or neat old stuff, but yet again, this is not quite. When I look at old stuff that's neat to me, a lot of times it's like mil spec guns, war guns, stuff for World War II, stuff like that. Not so much what we're going to talk about. So this is a old Smith & Wesson.
That's cool.
So it's a single action only. That's why it doesn't have a trigger guard. Because it doesn't need it. Because it can't go off. Because we don't got the hammer. So it's set up with a snap top, whatever to call it, opens in the back, like a Schofield design. If you sell it, auto ejects.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. 32 Smith & Wesson, I believe is what this caliber did. No, 38 Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with 38 Special,
right?
Which is what we use now. So 38 Special, 357, they're about the same cartridge. One's higher than the other one.
Right.
This 38 Smith & Wesson was a completely different round.
Right. And you cannot put a 357 in that round.
You can't put a 357 or 38 Special
38.
or anything in
Yeah.
here. And you can tell because the chamber size is completely different.
Right.
So it's a completely different thing. What's neat about this one,
How does that open? Do that again.
oh, the actual control in the back right here. So you pop that up.
Ah, okay. That's slick. I
And
like
you flip
that.
it like that. So it's on the site. So here's your back side post here.
Yeah.
And if you press it up,
It's pretty streamlined.
it goes through. Yeah, so they didn't put trigger guards on guns for a long time.
Right.
And they didn't actually have like triggers, like conventional triggers. Because
Well, when was that made?
this one was made in actually the actual year.
I think that was like 1877 or something.
So it was manufactured from 1876 to 1877. So it was only manufactured for a year. They made, I think, 25,000 roughly is what they made of these. So they made a bunch. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot left now.
Right.
But they made a bunch of them. This time period, like I said, they didn't have trigger guards.
Yeah.
They weren't double action guns. So if you had it cocked back, you pretty much knew you were going to shoot it. You weren't carrying this around like that. So you'll see later on as they get into like bigger production guns,
Right.
you know, like you would carry it a holster all the time. Like a duty gun, I'm going to say, like somebody would carry, like
a peacemaker.
Military would carry, or something like that. Your larger frame guns, but these like pocket guns like this, yeah, they rarely ever had trigger guards on them. Like I said, because you weren't really that worried about it, because you had to have the hammer back. You couldn't accidentally set this off. Maybe you could do. Nope, because she's got secondary locks on her, so that wouldn't be a concern. Yeah, so this one's somewhere between 86 and 87. So that that year there,
1886 and
Yes.
18. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Not 19, 18.
This is what they consider a small frame Smith. It's a center fire gun. This is the very first small frame they ever made.
That is so cool.
So this model was patented after they made it in 44 as well.
It is gorgeous.
So this is a smaller
that
44.
thing looks like it literally looks like it came off a show ring.
So what? So 1870, let's say 1877 at
Right.
the oldest. 1877, so 1977 would have been 100 years old.
Yep.
So this gun's old. Yeah, this thing's got some age to it. I mean, it's definitely an old gun. But it doesn't look like it. It doesn't feel like it either. Like if you held this thing and felt the action to it, you'd feel like you could shoot this. I would,
Yeah.
if I had rounds for this and I wanted to, I would feel comfortable shooting it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just solid. It's held up every time. They were made in stainless. They were made in blue, and they were 3-inch barrels, 3 1/4-inch barrels, and 4-inch and 5-inch barrels. So they had a bunch of different variants of them. And then this one, oh no, I do have the exact date. I'm sorry. This one was made September 17th, 1877.
So you have the whole history behind that
do.
gun right there.
I do. So I have So I have the history from Smith & Wesson. So you can, if you have a really old Smith,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and call Smith & Wesson, and you can actually find the documentation on when the gun was made and who was made from one of those things.
Wow.
So this one here was made in September 17th, 1877. It's serial number 20,799. It was delivered to this is how thorough it is. It was delivered to an M.W. Robinson of New York City, New York. Smith & Wesson's largest distributor at the time. Records indicate that this firearm was equipped with a 4-inch barrel, nickel finish, checkered black hard rubber grips, which is what this is. Pretty darn neat.
Dude, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. I think.
Are you working on that, or is that somebody?
No, this is for sale. Yeah, this is for sale.
Oh.
This is for sale. It has all its documentation, everything with it. Yeah. So they're pretty neat on their own.
Right.
To have the proper documentation
It's
is neat.
really, really cool.
So you got to call Smith. You got to pay for it.
Right. That's cool, though. I'd pay for it in a heartbeat. It comes on cool letterhead, too.
It's pretty neat stuff. If they have it,
Right.
Because a lot of it they don't have,
Right.
lost. But that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat that it went through. What's really cool is every so often somebody will do one of these and they'll get just some wild shit.
Oh, I imagine.
Like that gun, this gun was ordered for blah blah jails, or some police department, or the army, or it was some crazy thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe this. The gentleman that bought this, when he got it, he was telling me that it was something like there were 2 for sale. And he bought the nickel one thinking it was going to be worth more. And there was a blued one, and he didn't buy the blued one. And I think we looked up the blued one, they didn't make near as many or something.
Right.
And it was worth some ridiculously large amount of money.
Really?
I don't remember quote off the top of my head what it was.
We have a visitor at the door.
But it was. He's been doing that the whole time.
Yeah, he's not happy that we locked him out.
So it's really, really neat. Like I said, it's not exactly like we've been doing lately. Just give me a random gun and I go off cuff with it.
That is cool.
Because I have the paperwork for it. But no, it's what's really cool is that there's a lot of guys that collect Smiths.
That's what the screw is on the top, right? Set screw?
Set screw is for something.
Oh, no.
There's 2 screws on the sides. You can actually pull
so that's
the
for the
sight out
sights.
from. And then the front sight's actually pinned in there.
Oh, wow.
What's
Man,
neat
that's a lot of freaking work.
Well, what's neat about this is something that you can buy as a collectible piece.
Yeah.
You can still handle it.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt it to handle it. It's not like it's pristine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, if you had some 38 Smith & Wesson, which you can still buy,
Right.
you could go out and you could shoot it a little bit. I wouldn't suggest shooting it every weekend.
No.
But you could shoot
But
it
be able to say you
once
own
in a
it.
while and
Yeah.
actually shoot it. And it has the documentation and it's just really, really neat. And people like that. And
What do those guys go for?
what's this going for, Anna?
2,000.
$2,000.
Wow. That's a steal, I think.
I mean,
think
this
that's
is, we've had some really neat stuff come in too. We had this come
you
in.
always got cool stuff.
We have one of the 320 M17s. I think it's like the first set that was made to be sold.
Yeah.
Before whatever, it's in a presentation box with gold coin and all that kind of stuff. And those things are going for like $2,500.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard about it.
Yeah,
That's the one that's Anna. That's the one you were talking about earlier, right? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
It's like in a wooden glass case.
Yeah.
And then there's
I briefly saw it, but I haven't looked at it.
there's a really cool Python Hunter in there that you never see of those.
Yeah.
And, so we get some neat stuff. This is cool because it's,
That's just
if you're a Smith & Wesson collector,
that's a piece of history.
it's neat. If you're into Smiths, you know what I mean? It's really cool.
I want
If
a
you're just
Peacemaker.
into revolvers, it's cool. See, the problem that I find with a lot of those, so that's what's really cool. Okay. So, for example, this is old.
Right.
But you can still mess with the shooter.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
not
do that with a
pizza hell.
Peacemaker.
Most of the Peacemakers or any of those kind of single action armies, things that we get that are of actual vintage time,
Yeah.
are so beat and so the tolerances are gone, they're
Yeah.
trashed. You're never going to get to shoot it. It's going to sit away. It's not really a gun.
Yeah.
It's like when you buy
It's
a
a
gun and
talking
it just
piece.
kind of sits there.
Yeah.
Like there's something to me between having a gun that
I
you
would
don't-
agree.
don't want to shoot, and then there's a gun that you can't shoot.
We're
You
going
know
to
what I
get the
mean?
yank in
So
just a
it's-
second.
It's kind of one of those things there. So that's what's kind of neat about it.
I think that's cool.
So-
That's badass.
Yeah, it's pretty
I'm a
neat.
big fan. That is cool. All right. Yeah, Anna's giving us the cutthroat symbol there, so we're I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, I think we're a little, yeah, we've been over a lot lately. This wasn't too bad, to be honest
That's
with
all
you.
right.
So, all right, well, this is the last podcast we'll do before Christmas.
Yep, sure will.
So we won't be here next week.
Yeah, no.
I think we'll be here the following week.
I think so. I have to look at my calendar. I can't remember.
I don't know. We'll see. And then
Yeah.
we'll
let you know.
We'll go from there. Happy holidays, everybody. And
Yeah.
if you have any questions or anything, call us back. If you want to buy a really neat old Smith & Wesson single action,
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah.
We got everything for sale. So that's it.
Cool. Yep, and pick up the new freshwater fishing and boating guide from Virginia.
Yeah, we have that in the store if you want one. Come grab
Yep.
one. get all your licenses and stuff too for the new year if you want to
Yep,
come through.
absolutely.
A lot of guys come in the beginning of the year and buy their big pass with everything in it.
I just did mine for a lifetime.
So
Called
that's
it good.
one of those things you can do too. So
I'm old like that.
it gets cheaper the older you get.
It does. Not by much, though.
Lifetime's less likely. So,
All right, everybody. Well, appreciate you and happy holidays. And take somebody out hunting,
fishing,
take
fishing, kids, do stuff like that.
Yeah, take a kid out and let them see what the outdoors is like. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
You've been listening to The Hunting Quest. No matter how crazy, high-tech, or lazy the rest of the country gets, we will always be hunting and fishing. If that's you, you've found your new family. Thanks to our sponsor, Davis Guns and Gear. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. Reach out to us by email at info@thehuntingquest.com and check us out on Instagram and YouTube at The Hunting Quest. See you next time.